What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. And this video we're going to be taking a look at a kick butt server rack. This is all in a part of a series of a home lab. This happens to be a rack that was sent to us by Navepoint. And shout out to them for sponsoring this video. They also have sent us this 19-inch drawer in the top of the server rack. Now this isn't where I'm going to be mounting this. This is just for video purposes, right? So we always kind of put our networking at the top of the rack. So I did want to demonstrate this setup with their secured 19-inch basically drawer or storage compartment, and touch upon this rack. So this rack actually was shipped flat. Everything that was needed to put this rack together was included in the box, minus a screwdriver. So as you can see here, the rack is assembled, and we are able to now start to mount equipment in here. This is a 4-rail rack. What that means is we have these 4 rails that we installed through cage nuts in the front. Got one here, and we got them in the back. As you can see that there. So if we have a deeper equipment, we can actually mount it in 2 locations, front and back, to help support it. So along with the box, of course, you're going to get the install instructions here, get your parts identification list, and then the instructions. And as you can see, they're super simple. There's only like 3 or 4 pages of the instructions, and it kind of tells you how it is labeled on here. So one rack unit is basically labeled in 3 different compartments here, or insert spots, and they are labeled very nicely. And again, this installs with cage nuts, but if you've seen my video, check here for rack studs, because you're going to want to get rid of the cage nuts to any future installs and equipment, right? Because the rack studs are where it's at. Alright, so some details on this rack as we've kind of gone down. Again, this is a 4-post rack, 15 U's, so you can get 15 server rack units of equipment in this bad boy. And this is a portable, mobile rolling rack. So down here we have 4 casters that allow this to roll. They swivel, so that's kind of nice. You can do it in weird angles and stuff in case you don't have a lot of wiggle room. And you can see that, and you can lock these once you have it in place. So that is a nice feature to be able to do that. Also, that basically allows you for simple transport and storage of servers, network equipment, storage equipment, telco equipment, or audio video equipment, however you need. You may need just a media room set up and just a small rack like this, and just put your audio video equipment in it. Perfect use case. Okay. What's cool about this rack too, it is open. So basically you've got a really big area with this open setup to install equipment, maintenance equipment. So very, very nice with the open setup there to basically take care of it. It's got built-in side handles. So if you need to lift this bad boy, I would definitely do it without equipment in it. But you've got side handles on both sides that are kind of close to the top, which makes moving this pretty easy. Ventilation is no problem. We've got vents on the sides and the bottom and the top of the cabinet, as you can see here. So we've got vents up here. Again, here's the side handle on this side, and we got vents down here. So very good air circulation for setup. Even with this open setup, it looks really, really nice. This can support 132 pounds of equipment, okay? Up to 19-inch equipment in the rack, okay? The adjustable rails, they accommodate depths ranging from 2.5 to 22.6 inches, and that is at a 1.5-inch increment. And again, the rack mount spaces are labeled very, very nicely on the side here. You probably can't see. It's very, very difficult to try to zoom in on this and how it actually is labeled. But it allows you to basically Know where you're at versus counting squares. If you ever counted squares going down here, these here have labels so you can match up both sides so you're level on your equipment. Alright, we've already covered the vents, the cable management slots. We have a cable management slot down on the bottom. So this is going to allow you to take cables down in case you got to go into the floor, into another rack. This allows for very, very good cable management of the system. As you can see here, it did come with 2 bags of cage nuts and screws. And we have a cable management slot on the top right here. So anything that needs to go from top of rack in, you can do that very easily. And of course with the open back, if you wanted to do it that way, you can as well. Put some PDUs in here and all that other stuff and try to do some cable management. Alright, this is made from a heavy-duty cold rolled steel, so it is a very, very heavy-duty rack, but it is lightweight enough, since it's only 15 U's, to lift empty. You probably want a 2-person lift it and roll it around. Okay, so that's pretty good. Its dimensions are 23.7 inch length, 22.1 inch width, and it goes 33.5 inches on its height with the casters installed. So that is the rack in general. I'll have the model number of this bad boy in the show notes. Now, one other thing I wanted to cover was this Navepoint security drawer. So I think every rack should have something like this. It allows you to store your equipment in it. Okay? You might want to put licensed media that you've got installed, you know, from OSs to just software you've purchased, or, you know, like I have some cage nuts and stuff like that. It comes with keys, and you know, anything else you want to put in here, tools, certifications of different licensing on your hardware, maintenance contracts, warranty information, yada yada yada. You'd have all that kind of support information in one spot, and for all the equipment in this rack. So I am a big fan of this storage drawer. Again, this is Navepoint's solution, as you can see right here with some company branding. Boom. Hopefully we can zero in. And if you're missed my video again on the rack studs, these bad boys kick cage nuts butt. And I'll put a card up there as always, you know, so you can see that. So again, very nice drawer. We can lock this up. And this is the Navepoint solution. They've got a few little points back here of entry, like little rubber things you can pull out. So that's a nice little feature too if you wanted to have something come in the back or whatever. So that is the rack that this will be utilizing for the server lab. And again, I want to shout out to Navepoint for providing this rack. I'm going to give you a behind the rack look real quick. The lighting in here is not the best, but there it is. So again, we've got cable management on the bottom and the cable management on top. Very, very nice setup for a server rack. And again, handles on the sides, very top oriented handles so we can lift, and good air ventilation. So this should make a beautiful rack for somebody that wants to do a home server lab. And if I've given you the Blair Witch Project motion sickness with moving the camera, you're welcome. So all that's left here, guys, is for you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, go check out Navepoint's link in the show notes so you can check out all the stuff that they have. They are a pretty good provider of different kinds of server racks, not just these enclosed 4-rail. They've got 2-rail, open systems racks, and all sorts of good stuff. So I highly recommend checking them out. And again, this drawer and some other odds and ends that they actually provide. So good shout out to Navepoint for providing the rack and the drawer for this project. This is the series video, so there'll be a lot more coming up as we fill up a home lab with servers, network equipment, and all sorts of goodies, from PDUs to storage to basically a UPS power supply. We've already released the patch panel video, so you have a little sneak peek on that one. So more to come. Subscribe, and you'll be notified if you hit that little bell that when these videos pop, because this is a cool series. You're going to like it, and it's going to lead to a lot of projects for home labs. Again, like the video, subscribe, and as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.